Well, hello there. Welcome back to the podcast. Today we're going to talk about a timeline. So, welcome to podcast. This is a place where we talk about stuff that other car owners don't tell you about when you're in the process of shopping for a car. Specifically, it seems to be harder for new car buyers, obviously, because you have no idea how the process is going to work. Not that it doesn't impact repeat car buyers, but typically I find that new car buyers really struggle with this. It's a whole new territory and trying to figure out how to navigate and really trying to navigate without losing your shorts, right? So, welcome to the podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Car Envy and the Car Strategist. And I would normally say get a glass of wine or get a hot cup of coffee or, get a cup of hot tea. But today, I think we're just going to chill out. Why not? Why not? It's been a long day. Just join me for a few minutes with maybe a cup of soda, something different. Because this is something different, right? So we're going to talk about timelines. For me, when I have a timeline, it allows me to set short-term goals and long-term goals. It's the same when you're considering buying a car. It's the same when you're in the process of shopping for a car. This is still part of the search process before the research process. It's even more important to create this timeline that helps you keep it all together. And this is what I mean. It's easy to buy a car. Anybody can buy a car. However, what I've seen over and over again is you go buy a car and you lose your shorts. A car is a major asset. And it's mind-boggling as to how people just go buy a car. A few months ago, my daughter said, she's thinking about buying a new car. And I said, okay, well, what kind of car are you buying? She goes, I don't know. I don't know yet. And I said, do you know where you're going to go look? And she said, no, I think I'm just going to go to one of the, dealerships in town and go look. And you have to know my daughter. It's kind of a dangerous thought, right? So I'm thinking, oh, goodness. Maybe I should join her. But then again, I thought she needs to figure out for herself. So no, in case you're wondering, I did not join her because sometimes experience is the best teacher. So I'll tell you some more about this in a different episode. In the meantime, I don't want your Coke or your Sprite or whatever you're drinking to water down. So we're going to dive into it. This episode is about timelines. Timelines are short-term goals and long-term goals. The purpose of the timeline is to help keep you on track, help you create some level of sanity when you're car shopping, and help you remember the targets that you set. So for me, a short-term goal may be, right, research what I'm looking for in 30 days. Second goal may be, short-term goal may be, have, $500 saved. So those are kind of examples, short-term, long-term goals. Why create a timeline? A timeline just keeps you from all the muddle, all the noise, right? And honestly helps you just keep your sanity. And that's the best way that I can explain it. So for me, these are the following timelines that we certainly don't tell other car buyers that are to me important that we should talk about. So set a timeline, a major or long-term goal for down payment. Another example of a long-term goal in my mind is having money put up. There's this thing called sales tax and registration. Regardless of the state that you live in, you have to pay it. And it's not cheap. And it's not something we talk about. So customers buy cars. And I mean, have you ever been behind someone and you see the paper tag on their car and the paper tag is like 6 months old and you're wondering? That's because they had no idea that they were going to be paying that. So in your timeline looks like this. 1, down payment. 2, money for registration, right? 3, money for insurance. Because the other thing that we don't think about is that you need car insurance. Every car that is sold, every car on our roads has to have insurance. It's not an option. You need to have money saved for that. And that, for me, is also a long-term goal. But it also can be a short-term goal because you can have the money, the deposit that's required for that insurance put up and then have money put up for, the rest of it. For me, a fourth item that needs to be on this timeline is the idea that you need to have a major savings account, some type of savings account. And for me, the savings account really is for major repairs and emergencies because they're going to happen, right? So once you've planned and once you've kept in mind that your timeline needs to be a projected timeline. A projected timeline means, okay, I'm buying a car in May and this is December. So now I have 5 months. 1, I need to put up cash, right, for my down payment. I'm going to put up X, whatever X may look like for you. So I'm going to accomplish that first goal. And then I'm going to go to second goal, which is I need to have money for insurance and registration. As I accomplish the second goal, then I'm going to take that off the list. I'm all about lists, right? Then the third goal, which is going to involve making sure I have insurance money, right? My fourth goal is to make sure I have money put up for maintenance and those surprises that come along. The maintenance, those things, they will happen. It's given. It's going to happen. Those are really the big surprises. The car buyers don't tell other car buyers that I want you to make sure that you're aware of. And hopefully you're willing to create that timeline to ease all the expenses that comes with car buying. If you found this podcast helpful, please share, subscribe. Thank you for your time. I'll see you next time.